Okay, this is one of my favorite team comp in Omnihero, and I think it's very strong. So the idea is we want to combine the reflect damage from Doomsdayer as well as Mavis. So the core of this team is actually just these three units, and even Arthur can be replaced by other Doomsdayer unit. So basically, first we need Doris with red rooms. So what it does is it will duplicate the Doomsdayer synergy damage. So the Doomsdayer synergy damage. So the other requirement is at least three Doomsdayer, which is yeah. So each time enemies take actions, they take damage equal to allied team's reflect multiplied by allied team's attack. So since in the seasonal game mode, you can increase your team's reflect damage using the Doomsdayer Hope Tree skill, as well as the seasonal artifact bonus also give you some reflect rate. So this damage is really high, and it also happens when enemy takes action. It's actually before enemy take action. So if the enemy dies to this, they don't get to cast their ability or perform their basic attack. So that's why it's very strong and a little bit toxic, if you will. So to take advantage of the Doomsdayer synergy as much as possible, first we want Doris because Doris can duplicate the Doomsdayer synergy damage. And second, we want to make our team survive as long as possible so that the enemy can take reflect damage multiple times. And the best way to do that is just with Mavis, because if you know, Mavis actually has 4 lives. Wait, is from her basic skill. Mavis will immediately revive and restore 20% of max HP upon death. This effect can activate up to 3 times per battle. Now, ideally, you want your Mavis to be at 11 star or above so that she gained the last word effect, which is upon death, Mavis will deal damage equal to her ultimate damage to all enemies, which is really good and it will increase your whole team's damage. But since this team's like main damage source is from the Doomsdayer synergy and Doris, it's actually not that important. So you can get away with having a below 11 star Mavis. Yeah. So another thing is the reason Arthur is good is because Arthur can reflect the banish effect. He has a chance to reflect it. Like when Arthur is deployed, he grants all allies 25% chance to receive any debuff, and it's reflect back to the caster. So the debuff will not only like not affect on you, but it will like reflect back to the enemies. And the main thing this is about the Mystifier synergy. So like the Mystifier season synergy will allow you to banish enemies. And if the enemies try to banish, if they successfully banish your Mavis, then she doesn't get to revive anymore, and that's like pretty like harmful to your team. Like it will like ruin our game plan. But if we have Arthur, we can counter this by reflecting this back to enemies. So so Arthur is another piece, but he's not mandatory because like this is just to make this team even less counterable. And even if you don't have Arthur, since if as long as we have the proof of uh, Doomsdayer, we still have 2 slots. Then we can add 2 Glorian units so that we'll have 2 rounds of control immunity that also can counter the Glorian's effect. No, the Mystifier Spanish effect. Yeah. And for Avengers, I think in general we don't want to activate Avengers because Avengers actually has a downside. So for this revive effect, it's not revive immediately. It's like if you trigger this revive effect, like it will be have a delay for 1 round. So the so that your Mavis will turn into a little grave, and the little grave will revive one turn later. But if all your teams dies within the time where the Mavis is the little grave, then she doesn't get to revive and you lose immediately. So that's one downside of activating Avenger synergy. So what I recommend is actually you have you have like two Doomsdayer unit to activate the uh, three Doomsdayer synergy, and then you slot in some other synergies. Yeah, and you don't activate the Avengers synergy. If you still really want to activate the Avengers synergy because you don't have other options, you need them in other teams, then you need to include Althea because Althea will make the Avengers revive effect happen immediately instead of at the next round start. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for the team.
Your souls belong to the deceased. Your souls belong to the deceased.